You ever feel it deep down in your bones? That raw electric buzz that something big is coming, something Detroit hasn't dared whisper aloud until now? Yeah, that feeling. It's like standing outside Ford Field on a frigid October night. Tailgate fire burning low, breath clouding the air, and hearing the distant roar of the crowd, knowing this season could shatter everything we thought we knew or finally stitched together, the scarred heart of this city's team. That moment's here right now. The air's thick with it, and if you bleed Honolulu blue, you feel it layering over every painful chapter, every missed opportunity, every soul-crushing heartbreak. You feel it like a drumbeat, pounding against your ribs because the next move could redefine us all. Don't close your eyes on this one, because Detroit Lions fans are our tribe. This goes deeper than practice notes or injury lists. This is the prelude to the kind of shift that rocks a franchise out of its stubborn, bitter slumber. If you've stood in the cold waiting for hope in this city, if you've hit every bar, tailgate, and break room to defend this team when everyone else gave up, drop a damn roar in the comments right now. Because we're on the brink of something that could tear apart the old narratives and build something new, something fierce, something impossible to ignore. Behind the glossy headlines and routine injury reports, something happened on the practice field that sends shivers through those of us who stare too long at the roster and see the ghosts of seasons past. The usual shuffles of players nursing knocks or soreness. Yeah, we get that every week. But the way Tim Patrick left Wednesday's practice, just walking off without a trainer, disappearing before team drills, there's a weight to that moment. It's the whisper of uncertainty that fans hate. Not the big rips and tears that bring the music crashing down, but the unclear absences that leave you watching the clock, watching the game film, wondering. Insiders are leaning in, voices dropping, to whispers in the halls of practice fields and front offices alike. And trust me, there's a reason the rivals are watching Detroit closer than they have in years, sensing we might just have something worth fearing. Monday's practice left dents in the roster players like Dominic Lovett, Jamarco Jones, Pat O'Connor sidelined, but nothing tragic, at least from what Coach Campbell shared. Still, the grind never stops here. Mason Miller and Justin Herron pulled double duty on the tackling lines, while Panay Sewell kept that colossal presence anchoring the first team. Meanwhile, Sean Vacky's mysterious absence after a pep talk about feeling good only adds to the mounting suspense. Broderick Martin's quiet disappearance from practice for reasons unknown only adds more puzzle pieces to this fractured picture. Then, the jaw-dropping move. Tim Patrick, our promising wideout, stepping away mid-practice without explanation. No trainer escort, no handshake goodbye, just gone. Suddenly, Caleb Raymond and Tom Kennedy get more reps, but the vibe in that moment, it's electric tension. It's the kind of thing that makes your throat tighten and your mind race back to. All the times this franchise teetered on the edge, just one injury or break could tilt a season from potential playoff push to another long, dark stretch. You remember how we've been here before. Lingering ghosts of the 0-16 nightmare. The silent pain after Barry Sanders was ripped away, watching Calvin Johnson retire and the spotlight dim. The heartbreaking wild card collapses that haunt us still. Dan Orlovsky's courageous moments in preseason, Jim Caldwell's firing, the patience-tested year after grueling year. Every setback, every jaw-dropping upset has carved this story deep into our collective soul. But this moment, this niggling, mysterious absence at the dawn of preseason, could it be the spark that flips the script? What if Patrick's early exit reveals more than just an injury? What if it signals a shift in who steps into the spotlight, reshaping the offense in ways we haven't dared to dream? What if the domino falling here sets off a chain reaction, unleashing players hungry to prove us wrong and rewriting the entire NFC North hierarchy? What if this is our one shot before the window slams shut, the fragile opportunity for this team to finally answer the city's prayers? And if this domino falls, if Patrick's uncertain status sends shockwaves through the locker room, hold on tight, because you won't believe who's next in line to rise or stumble. The Lions have clawed, fought, and bled for every inch of hope since the days when Detroit was just a punchline. Now we stand raw and restless, on the edge of a moment that could make or break us once again. This is more than football. It's the pulse of a city, the heartbeat of a fan base that refuses to quit. So stay locked in, because the story is just beginning. The next chapter is about to write itself in sweat, grit, and maybe, just maybe, glory. And trust me, Detroit, you do not want to blink. Snap the chains. Detroit, destiny doesn't wait. For the timid, this is it. The burning question no one wants to voice aloud but can't ignore in their bones. Are we witnessing the beginning of something that could finally shake Detroit out of its long, harrowing slumber? I've been around long enough to remember the darkness, the scars inked into every fan's soul 0 to 16. The reckless, wild ride of Barry Sanders walking away in his prime. Calvin Johnson hanging up his cleats with tears and heartbreak etched into history. Jim Caldwell's firing after promising seasons lost in the shuffle. The gut-wrenching wild-card collapses that turn hope to ash in our mouths. And still, we bleed Honolulu blue, stubborn and unyielding. I remember trembling at those wild trips to Ford Field in the dead of winter, feeling the cold bite not just on our skin, but into our hope-stinking asterisk. Can this franchise ever find its way out of the darkness? Well, folks, I gotta tell you something's stirring again, and it's raw, electric, undeniable. The whispers, the side eyes across the locker room, something's shifting. You see, inside Allen Park, the air is thick with tension. No longer just routine injuries. No longer just guys nursing minor knocks. No, it's the silent fallout. From Tim Patrick's sudden departure walking off practice like a ghost, leaving everyone on edge. That absence that makes the invisible tremors ripple through the team, through the front office. What's real? What's a smokescreen? Maybe it's more than just a strained hammy or a tweak. Maybe it's a sign. And while the rivals like green, Bay and Minnesota are quietly licking their chops, trying to decipher our weakness, we're secretly plotting our resurrection. This isn't just another season. This is the moment that could make or break everything. That locker room talk? I've heard it, players whispering about who's stepping up, about the culture finally turning a corner, fueled by the grit of a team that's fed up with being punched down. Hell, even Dan Campbell's fiery speech feels different, more urgent, like he's ready to etch something into the history books. In the shadows of history, Detroit's endured it all, the dark days of the 0 to 16, the heartbreak of a playoff, loss from which we never quite recovered, the gut shots when Barry Sanders walked away, Calvin Johnson's tear-streaked farewell, the unspoken frustration that lingers after every close call, every moment where fate seemed to tilt against us, yet we still stand, still fighting, because that's what Lions fans do. That's who we are. Now, reality's whispering a new story. What if the searing mystery at practice isn't just a blip? What if it's the spark that ignites the fire inside our new core? What if the next young star we've been waiting for finally steps into the light, rewriting what's possible? We've seen greatness before arriving, just to be snuffed out. The promise of a team that refuses to accept another dark chapter. And if Patrick's absence is one domino, then trust me, others are waiting in the wings, eyes burning with hunger. The rookies, the forgotten ones, the ones cast aside, finally ready to claim their spot in the sun. But here's the kicker, what? If the fracture runs deeper? What if the front office, the coaching staff, the veteran leadership is hiding something? Are we truly on the cusp of a renaissance, or is this just a season hiding its own skeletons? Every glance, every sideline, conversation, every little rumble from the league whispers a truth: we're closer to glory than we've been in decades. But at what cost? When you've clawed your way through despair, through the cold nights, through the specter of former glory, you learn one thing: hope isn't given. It's forged in fire. And right now, Detroit is heating up. So I ask you, if this is the moment where we finally rise, are you ready to stand? Because I swear I can hear it, the roar building, waiting to break loose, the kind that shakes the city to its core. The question is, what is the Lions' next move? Because the pieces are shifting, The city's breath is held tight. And the future? Well, it's about to be written in sweat, blood, and unyielding resolve. Are we finally about to shatter the old chains for good, or are we destined to once again stare into the abyss and wonder if this time it will swallow us whole? The clock's ticking, the silence thick, and the biggest game of the season is about to begin. Are you ready to find out if this is our dawn or just another dark night that will test us all to the breaking point?